Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today with a quick update video here in regards to the new event being the Frozen Dimensions. And my goodness, guys, it is actually worse than we anticipated. I made a video earlier this week stating how it's a trap event, stating that, there's not really going to be any point because the rewards are not worth it. Hopefully, you're not having to build up for this event, guys, because honestly, you should just do what you can with the roster that you have. Don't build up characters and teams to get through this game mode. Reason being is because, quite frankly, it's even designed very, very poorly. I'll show you quickly here some gameplay footage of how we're doing. But before I do, let me just show you where my Orcus team is at, right? This is currently what I'm doing to crush the Orcus raids right now. And 3 of these characters being gear tier 19, Omega and Nimrod being level 95. So this is, honestly, this is a really solid team already. Obviously you can put some more isolated purples, but we're not even at that point yet in the Frozen Dimensions. Right? And let me show you some gameplay. If I go over here, and I got to a point where everyone said the same thing, right? There's a reason it's called the Frozen Dimension, because you're not going to be able to move, ironically enough. So here, I got 64% complete, and obviously I'm going to keep trying every day, but I'm not building up any A-Force characters. This is not a team that I want to build up, just because my priority is not war. And I don't want to push all my Orcus team members here to level 100 gear tier 19, because I don't think it's going to even matter if you do. So check us out, right? So we start things off here, and hopefully you enjoy these minutes of gameplay, because we're not going to get a turn. I mean, it's just the way that they designed this is absolutely atrocious. It's not a game anymore when you can't even get a turn. They always say that, these Scopely employees are actual players. How can you say you appreciate this? This is a great example of FOMOing you to build a team, in this case, the absolute A-Force. But I'm going to play the game I'm going to play the game my way, right? War is not my priority, so I'm not going to build a team that I don't care for. OP or not with Kahori, she will be added into my roster when she gets added to my roster. And thankfully, there is an event that's going on for her next week. So everyone in the community, if you guys have been following along, getting those shards here and there, the orbs, we're probably going to have a really, really good chance here to actually unlock her free to play. But I mean, to what ends, guys? To what ends, right? Even if you get Kahori, you might have a chance going through this. But just look at this, guys. How long has it been now? A minute or two? And this is ridiculous, right? Like, half of my team is gear tier 19. These guys can completely dominate Dark Dimension 7, Dark Dimension 8, Orcus Raid's highest difficulty, and yet I can't get a flip and turn right now to go through this node. It's just absolutely atrocious. I don't know who comes up with this, or how their department even makes a game mode like this, because look at this. How is this even remotely fun, right? Just look. Finally, I get a turn, but guess what? I can't even use any of my abilities, because the way that they designed these characters that we're up against, they're probably going to shut you down with turn meter reduction. And this is going to end up with you being just, having to take the L, do the attempt, and then continue on each day and see how far you can go. And thankfully, we do have time for this event. I think it's actually 2 weeks plus. But guys, hopefully you're able to see. Actually, you know what? To be honest, since I didn't even do anything, I'm just gonna let this play out. But you might as well just get my attempt in for this. But yeah, it's atrocious to me, guys. I think this is probably arguably the worst game mode we've ever seen, because there hasn't been a game mode where you can't play it. With the exception of being gated, obviously, for legendary trial events where you have to build up certain star levels and characters. But I think Scopely, this is a big FU to the community, and I think this easily takes the cake for the worst game mode that's ever released in MSF history. And that's saying something, because wow, we've been around for over 5 years, and to make a game mode where endgame players like myself can't even get a turn. My apologies. I guess I did take 1 turn with my Scientist Supreme on that basic. But look at that, guys. Look at that. 3-4 minutes of gameplay, I didn't get a single turn. How do you expect players to want to stay and playing the game? How do you expect players to be excited about this game mode when you don't even allow the players to have any autonomy, any engagement? And also, in case you guys didn't notice too, the war bonuses were active for those characters. I don't know if that's intentional. Maybe it wasn't, but regardless, that's why those characters were so overtuned, because we're not even able to actually battle them. We're using a raid team that's designed for raids against characters and synergies that are getting the benefits and bonuses of war. So at least if you're going to be doing that, at least make that transparent. But it doesn't even seem like they actually had any kind of verbiage there. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Not usually making rant videos or negative videos here, but I gotta say that you gotta give credit where credit's due. Worst game mode released, and I'm super happy that I made that video on just taking a look at the big picture, right? Don't waste your resources on this game mode, guys. This is a temporary game mode here for 18 days, but to what ends? You know, these resources are nothing to me. I already have the majority of everything here. The only thing that we can't really technically farm consistently is the ISO 8 ions, but even then I have 8 million. I already got Odin, so there's nothing to take from this game mode. I'm gonna throw my team in there once a day and see if I can just like nibble at it, because you know, for me, free stuff is free stuff. But yeah, absolutely atrocious, guys. And then once again, with my Orcus team, you know, half of them being level 100, gear tier 19, and the fact that I can only get one turn, are you kidding me? That's just absolutely ridiculous, guys. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully you don't waste your time. Even for myself, being a highly engaged endgame player, and I can't even get you know, a turn, a couple of turns in that specific node, and that wasn't even the end of it. There was still a few more nodes that actually require the upgrading here of ISO 8 purple. And again, as I noted earlier, guys, it's not worth it, especially if you take a look at the progression towards Odin. These characters right here can get the job done in Dark Dimension 7 and Dark Dimension 8. That's where you should be putting your resources into, and it shouldn't be building up a team specifically for a game mode, unless maybe in the future Absolute A-Force is also required for a legendary. Then I would pivot, you know, then I would consider. But otherwise, in the meantime, I'm gonna keep playing the game my way, in terms of how I get the best of what I make of it, what I find fun in as well. So yeah, hopefully this is helpful, guys. I'm sorry to bring this bad news to you. Hopefully you can skip this event or take advantage of the free rewards that you are able to. But in the meantime, do not waste your resources. Do not waste you know, your precious roster materials for something as temporary and mundane as this trash game mode.